Andy Farrell, of course, has taken over from the long-serving Joe Schmidt. That happened after the World Cup. Ireland promoting from within, succession planning, and Paul O'Connell has been brought in this year as forwards coach, which should stiffen a few signs. And of course, silverware to play for, the Guinness Six Nations trophy and the Triple Crown. And to win that, well, Ireland have to beat Scotland, Wales and England. And of course the same applies to Wales. You have to beat Ireland, Scotland and England. Ireland finishing third in the last two tournaments they've played in, the Autumn Cup and the 2020 Guinness Six Nations. Expectations maybe a little lower after the heady Grand Slam days of 2018, which led into a disappointing couple of years, which included a hammering in this stadium, being dismantled twice by England, and a gut-twisting World Cup defeats to Japan, and a 46-14 thrashing by the All Blacks in Ireland's forever exit point, the quarter-finals. Johnny Sexton, at 35 years of age, struggling a bit with a hamstring injury coming into this match, is Ireland's captain once again. Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton combining in green for the 63rd time, would you believe? Both players indeed now at the veteran stage. Of course, a marvellous stadium to be present in when there's a capacity crowd of just under 80,000. It's not bad when there's no crowd here, as the flames burst into the Cardiff sky. Wales, they've been limping a bit of late, a long run of defeats, included under Pivac, and fifth place in both the 2020 Guinness Six Nations and the Autumn Cup. And oh, how Wales could do with the shaking cacophony of a packed Principality Stadium. COVID denies them that. But remember, this Celtic crunch has always bubbled with intent. When Wales meet Ireland, these closely connected cousins struggle to keep their darker emotions in check. Feisty, fiery firecrackers are usually the order of the day. Alan Wynne-Jones, the Wales captain. And before the anthems, there will be a short spell of reflection for those who have died during the pandemic. The NHS captain Sir Tom Moore and the Welsh Lion Hayden Morris, who passed away recently. Morris, a Lion in 1955, and scored a hat-trick on his Lions debut in South Africa.
Does dim lle I hiliaeth mewn rygbi, chwaraeon neu'r byd I ni'n byw ynddi. Racism is not acceptable in rugby, in sport, or in the world.
And of course, rugby continues to drive its message of support for the fight against racism, and will continue to do so throughout the Guinness Six Nations.
By the referees whistle. Diolch. A nawr, yr anthemau. A nawr the anthems dechrau. Dyna gyn I Iwerddon. Let's start with Ireland's call. the national anthem, Ceirwad fy Nhadau.
Probably, or maybe definitely, the most rousing anthem in world rugby. Well, with Jones, Owens and Francis, you could argue that's Wales' best set-piece front row. Big Beard and Old Greybeard in the second row. Another veteran, Dan Lydiate, returns in the back row. 228 caps between that streetwise trio. In the backs, Lewis Rees-Zammit makes his Six Nations debut. No Josh Adams. George North plays again at 13. Hallam Amos gets a crack. Thomas Williams back after injury. Well, Cian Healy makes his 50th Six Nations appearance. Tadhg Beirne gets the lock pick beside James Ryan. Josh van der Flier is selected at 7, with CJ Stander back at number 8 in the absence of Caelan Doris. In the backs, it's a heavily salted duo at 9 and 10. James Lowe is back after injury, with Henshaw and Ringrose starting together for the first time since the World Cup. On the benches, Liam Brown brings some raging bull. Josh Navidi back after concussion. Kilcoyne, Furlong and Henderson add experienced ballast for Ireland. Beside me today is Tom Shanklin, former Lions and Wales centre. Plenty of chat during the week. Tom, your thoughts before this Celtic clash?
Look, I think Ireland will go in as the favourites today, rightly so, with the power they have at their disposal in the pack. Wales need to learn from the Autumn Nations Cup. They'll want to improve physically. They'll also need a bit of parity at set piece. Be able to launch George North, who's on great form, into the Ireland midfield. Look, it's Six Nations, as in Cardiff, so you cannot write Wales off.
But he's in the nervous 90s now, is Wayne Barnes, in terms of internationals, sporting a Six Nations haircut, as prepared by his wife, Polly Scissorhands Barnes.
Alan Wynne. Yeah, just 1 second. Still waiting, Johnny. So. Okay, we're good to go.
Well, Wales completed their 4th Grand Slam here against Ireland in 2019. For the Welsh, it's a stadium that has witnessed so many magical moments. But for Ireland too, like the Ronan O'Gara drop goal that secured Ireland's Grand Slam in 2009. Historically, though, Ireland have struggled in Cardiff, but no crowd today for Wales to surf on. And surfing forward for Ireland is CJ Stander, wearing that number 8 shirt for the 26th time. No Caelan Doris, who suffered symptoms of concussion in the build-up to this game. He's gone back to Leinster. Here's Conor Murray. So much experience in the halfbacks. Thomas Williams, returning from shoulder problems, missed the Autumn Nations Cup. And George North goes into scrum half, playing for the 7th time for Wales in that outside centre position. Here's Thomas Williams to Lee Halfpenny. 94th cap today for the veteran, former Champions Cup winner with Toulon, remember. Halfpenny. And here's Williams again.
Next time it's a free kick, Thomas.
CJ Stander claiming that Thomas Williams demonstrated a slight dummy there, and he's got a warning from Wayne Barnes about it. Here's James Ryan. James Ryan looking to recover the form that he displayed in 2018 when Ireland won the Slam. And it's Keith Earls who taps the ball back to Rob Herring, the Ulster hooker, born in Cape Town. Toby Faletau, Tolupe Faletau as he prefers to be known, tries to get his hands to the ball. And now it's Robbie Henshaw. Is there a gap there? There almost was for Henshaw to thread his way through Sexton. Now it's CJ Stander crossing in midfield. First penalty of the game, and after 2 minutes of pretty exhausting rugby, a chance to bring Tom Shanklin in.
Lovely box kick, wasn't it, by Conor Murray? Just gave something for Keith Earls. The chase gets off the ground, gets a hand to it, it bounces back, and we'll see the replay. It was crossing. Such an exciting game, so many battles around the field.
Here's Hugo Keenan, scored 2 tries on his debut for Ireland against the Italians, where he played on the wing, now at full back, trying to make that position his own in the absence of the injured Jacob Stockdale. Ken Owens, the Sheriff of Carmarthen, back in that 2 shirt for Wales, and my goodness, they need him for the set pieces where Wales struggled in the autumn. Keith Earls captures the ball, 33 years of age now, is the former Lion of 2009. James Ryan carries once more. 2 solid carries from the man who has captained Ireland twice. Johnny Sexton not able to beat the Wales' feet. And here's Wyn Jones. Is there an opportunity now for Wigg? Justin Tipuric, one of the finest footballing back row forwards in the world. Oh, Lewis Rees-Zammit gliding and ghosting past Irish defenders there. And Wales getting themselves onto the front foot for the first time in this game. Ireland trying to slow it down. Dan Biggar finds Alan Wyn Jones, his captain. Ireland wrestling hard in the breakdown,
lots of things wrong there.
but they have given away the penalty in an eminently kickable position in front of the post. Bit of tempo from Wales there.
Bit of tempo, bit of width, and that's what we want to see. You know, you look at some of the strike runners Wales have got out wide. There's no point having them on the field unless you're going to give them the ball, and Justin Tipuric does so well there to delay his pass. This is just the missed kick from Dan Biggar for touch early on, but Tipuric there, it's the delayed pass which just entices James Lowe to come up. He then puts it behind him, and we get to see Lewis Rees-Zammit. And this is the penalty. Talisman there, Alan Wyn Jones taking it in. But a good start. Only giving away 2 penalties pretty early on. This is a perfect chance for that points machine, Lee Halfpenny, to slot it through.
Yeah, he's just 3 points short of Neil Jenkins' record for Wales in the Six Nations, 406. Neil Jenkins, 403. Lee Halfpenny, and Wales kicking in the last Six Nations was magnificent. Missed just 1 of 23 between them, Halfpenny and Dan Biggar. It does help if you've got 2 of the greatest place kickers in the world on your team. No Liam Williams, he's suspended, having been sent off in a Welsh derby during the Christmas period, and Halfpenny, as usual, on target.
Yeah, he has to be. That's why he's in the team. Not just because of his defensive attributes, but because he's just nails them off the tee. You know, Wales rely heavily on penalties to win games, to increase their points. You know, don't score too many tries. So when it comes to penalties, you need to take them. He's a master at it.
Such an experienced team. Wales 1,034 caps in their 23, and there's the man who has most of them, Alan Wyn Jones. He's 144th for Wales today, 153rd all told when you include the 9 Lions tests. Here's Thomas Williams, and CJ Stander calls for the ball. Almost ran into his own man there, Andrew Porter. Here's Conor Murray, and now Cian Healy, 105th cap today, equals John Hayes' record for an Irish prop. Healy, who scored a try against France on his 100th appearance for his country. Murray, up goes Faletau, takes it well under pressure from O'Mahony. Here's George North. Can he impress in the centre as he did against Italy in the Autumn Nations Cup? Williams, now Dan Biggar, who played last week for Northampton, played all 80 minutes against Gloucester. Up goes Gary Ringrose, pinned by Johnny Williams.
There are offside lines.
Conor Murray, ball bubbling about in midfield, but it's taken on by Healy. Good carry from the Leinster loose head. Murray once more fizzes the ball to Ringrose. Such a threat and attack for Ireland in centre field.
Tackle!
Murray now finds Rob Herring. Tries to spin, thought about the offload, thought better of it. Now Johnny Sexton for James Lowe with a perfectly manicured man bun. New Zealand-born winger, ex-New Zealand Marley. Now it's Andrew Porter getting a lot of game time recently due to the injury to Tadhg Furlong. Ryan, a lot of running rugby, a lot of ball in hand. Here's Hugo Keenan. Nice little checked inside ball from Ringrose. Murray, Ringrose once more. Not too much kicking in this game. Here's Murray. Can he get support from Keith Earls? He tries to drive Tipperick off the ball. It's a rampaging start here from both sides. Peter O'Mahony, fine pass. Ringrose, Henshaw, now Hugo Keenan. Little goose step for James Lowe. And it is a frenetic pace here in Wales.
Oh, there's some brutal carries on there, matched with big hits as well. But that all came from a Dan Biggar kick, and when he kicked it up in the air, there was 2 Wales chasers, 4 Ireland defenders, and they were able to break down the left. Wales did well there, just to drift off James Lowe, forcing him to kick.
Oh, Wales lost 19 lineouts in the Autumn Nations Cup. Ken Owens back after injury, but losing that lineout there. And this is where Wales really have to sharpen up their game in that set piece.
Yeah, they do. And Ireland are going to put so much pressure on, as we see there.
Okay.
The set piece scrum line out has really been creaking over the last year for Wales.
Control
Got to start taking those balls. Luckily,
okay, let's start forming, please.
for Wales, you know, the ball was knocked on. They get possession back at scrum.
Just saw a shot there of Alan Wynne-Jones' left eye. There's stitches above it. He's got a black eye. That happened during an altercation in training, allegedly with Jake Paul. Looks like he's connected with a pretty good right hand there. So a bit of spice at the Vale.
Set. Keep it high. Keep it high.
Good scrummage, good scrummaging front row this is for Wales. At least it certainly should be, with Wynne-Jones and Ken Owens and Thomas Francis, who won the double with Exeter Chiefs last season. Premiership and Champions Cup. Here's Keenan looking into the corner. Back there goes the sweeping defender Dan Biggar, formerly of the Ospreys, now of the Saints. Here's James Lowe, formerly of the Chiefs in Super Rugby. And Halfpenny, another Lions test player.
Yes.
Johnny Sexton, how long can he last in this game today? He's become a bit injury prone. Great take by Lee Halfpenny, a master of the airwaves, has been for so many years.
No, don't touch it. Kim, back you go.
Wynne-Jones of the Scarlets carries, just manages to shovel his way past Conor Murray. Ireland come in to counter-ruck through Cian Healy, not committing too many players there. Conceding the ball to Wales, and Thomas Williams. Keith Earls knocks that on advantage. Johnny Williams has it.
Yeah, fine. 3 was on his feet, lost forward first of all from 14.
Tough ball to take that when you see all the Welsh players coming down.
Really good body position, strong.
Perfect kick.
First one knock on.
We see here, look, you can see Dan Biggar. Lydiate as well. Tipuric
just
takes his eyes off it momentarily, doesn't he, Keith Earls? You know, to take those, really, you could see it sort of swirling in the wind, but he needs to get off the ground. You know, if he gets off the ground, players can't touch him.
So maybe just a little bit higher, because I just saw.
And you can see his eyes there. Just look at the incoming traffic.
Really good pre-scrum. Really balanced.
But this is a good opportunity now. Midfield scrums. As long as they can get a bit of parity, you've got two options either way. You know, you've got one of the most fantastic talents we've seen on the right wing, and Lewis Rees-Zammit has been carving up at the Premiership in England.
Well, it's not a great sight for Wayne Pivac, and Dan Lydiate brought back into the side, having not played for Wales since November 2018. He is injured at the moment. There he is, right knee. The Six Nations Player of the Championship, would you believe, 9 years ago. But as he came in here on Keith Earls, you can see the knee going.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you? Stepping off his right knee. Looks like something lateral on the right-hand side of his knee. Just giving way. It doesn't look good. You know, you can tell often by a player's reaction how they fall.
Scrum, just where the ball is.
You know, he's had a brutal start as well.
Yeah,
you know, I think he's tackled CJ Stander 2 or 3 times.
I just thought it was entry.
Yeah, sad for Dan Lydiate, back in the Welsh team, his first Six Nations game in 5 years. It was a little bit of a shock selection. It was formed for the Ospreys. Has been top class, Tom.
Yeah, and that shows you the pressure Wales are under to get results. He has been in good form, but you know, he's a chopper, nails players straight away, gets them down, brings a bit of a physical edge. This man we're seeing now in Josh Navidi, more of a carrying threat. I suppose with Ken Owens back as well, you've got another carry there, Toby Faletau. So they've gone with Dan Lydiate, the chopper.
Snake belly level tackler, isn't he, Dan Lydiate? I do remember he not in his own, but he partly helped to destroy the Irish ball carriers in that famous World Cup quarter-final way back in 2011, Tom.
But when you look at the Irish team, you know, up front as well, the amount of carries, the amount of power they've got, you know, you can see why Wayne Pivac has picked him. You know, you need to match force with force.
Jake Ball's made a good job of Alan Wynne-Jones' left eye, hasn't he? There he is, the miscreant, allegedly.
I'd love to know what it's about.
Just keep that height a little bit higher, just ended up on 4 feet on both sides.
I mean, that mask doesn't do his beard any good, does it?
It makes him look guilty, doesn't it?
He's going to get a bit of airtime today, isn't he, Jake Ball?
Same control, same height. Watch on, please. Crouch.
Well, Dan Lydiate stays on in the meantime with that knee heavily strapped. Thomas Williams feeds this scrummage, and again it's solid from Wales. Wayne Barnes says you have to use it. Thomas Williams finds some grass. That's bobbling with difficulty and dangerously.
Yeah, just inside. Ball's live.
It does okay.
Ball's still
you know,
live.
it's a pretty standard setup there.
Now,
4 on the left, 2 on the right. You know, looking for 8 to put Thomas Williams
Wales
just on the
line.
outside.
Wales on the line.
Maybe of Conor Murray, but no real option there apart from the kick.
Stay, Toby.
You know, I'd like to see someone like Lewis Rees-Zammit, Hallam Moss behind that scrum. Just giving Wales a further option.
5 metres. Gone 5 metres.
Good take on the line out there by James Ryan, who's been calling the lineouts of late, and of course he will have worked hard with Paul O'Connell, lineout maestro in the build-up to this game, the new Ireland forwards coach.
Line's yours, Ireland.
I think I'd be terrified to get the lineout wrong if Paul O'Connell was my lineout coach.
He's probably calling them from the sideline.
Okay.
That's a good kick there, Conor Murray gets him right back up to the halfway line, out of trouble.
Yeah, watch
still Dan Lydiate.
Just replacing him.
It didn't look good, did it? It was inevitable.
I don't know, I'll give you time.
No, he was limping straight away. Josh Navidi himself back after having concussion problems
That's what happened.
into the team. He's been out since August, Josh Navidi. That is such a sad sight. 33 years of age, back into the team after such a long absence, but lasting just 12 minutes.
Yeah, and you just think, you hope it's not his last chance. You know, he got himself into some great form. That's why he was selected.
Dan Biggar to George North. Big thundering run from North. Wales will want to get the ball into his hands as much as they can. Justin Tipuric of Croatian descent, as is Wayne Pivac, the relatively new Wales coach. Here's Thomas Williams, pulls it in behind for Dan Biggar. Ireland's defence sweeps across. Gary Ringrose, very good defender in that 13 channel for Ireland. Josh Navidi with a carry. And here is Thomas Williams to Biggar. Alan Wintow, lovely hands at Tipuric, and George North knocks it on, gathered by Josh van der Fleer.
It's a clear out, there's nothing wrong.
James Ryan.
Totally unavoidable.
Lovely little ball to Tadhg Beirne in the blue headguard. Conor Murray, and now Cian Healy. What can he do? Little stop and go from the loose head. Gave the Wales defence a chance to step forward. Advantage to Ireland.
He's still trying to regather it.
Looking for weak defenders. You know, keep coming back blind. They're coming to midfield, and Conor Murray's heads up. He's coming back down the blind side, looking for lazy defenders, looking for space. We want to see, well, you Welsh fans want to see George North with ball in hand. You know, if that ball goes into the breadbasket, he's going through. It's good defence, also by Ireland.
Ooh, Peter O'Mahony.
Wayne Barnesby having a look at that.
Oh, he's blown the whistle.
So that could be red.
He wants a look. He wants a look. Tom Foley's the TMO.
He is being the ground by Sexton, but I just think
that straight shoulder to the head of Thomas Francis from Peter O'Mahony.
It's where his arm is as well.
So let's have a look at that far side, please.
Yeah, just lining that up for you, moment.
His arm is down by his side.
Okay, still not on the screen at the moment, but
it's a very clear protocol for shots to the head.
There, we've got 6 arriving. His left
Peter
arm
O'Mahony could be in all sorts of trouble here.
I think he is.
So we've got a left arm not trying to clear someone out. It's actually in tucked, almost like a chicken wing action, and it's hit him in the head. There's the facts, isn't it? So the facts are, let's deal with the facts first of all. It's definitely foul play. He's come from a distance at high speed and hit someone in the head. That's the facts. So he's not in control. It's high danger. Is that all the facts? Anyone disagree on the facts?
No.
So the answer is sanctions, red card, isn't it? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, 100% correct from Wayne Barnes. No choice, no mitigating factors.
It's to the head, mate. It's to the head.
Clear and obvious. Peter O'Mahony, Lions captain, remember, in New Zealand in that first test, former Ireland captain, and you would surely expect a lot more than that from a man of that experience, the Munster man, and he is gone. Ireland have to survive somehow now with 14 men and without one of their most experienced warriors.
I think Wayne Barnes explained it really clearly and concisely then.
Okay.
Peter O'Mahony did something similar against the Scarlets not too long ago.
Yeah, no, that's a mid-arm.
You cannot enter rucks like that. You cannot enter with your arm down by your side like that, tucked. He does.
You remember that Scarlets game? It was 2 yellows, wasn't it, Tom, that led to a combination of a red card.
On Jake Ball, of all people, as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was on Jake Ball. How ironic. Here's Dan Biggar now. Thomas Williams, good ball. Tipuric. Apparently that's the correct pronunciation. Here is Josh van der Fleer, and now Gary Ringrose. Did that ricochet off a Welsh body on the way through? Luke Pearce is on this side.
What a great turnover there in the midfield. It's a good carry by Tipuric.
I think it was me who blocked you.
Tadhg Beirne ends up with it somehow. But Ireland, 14 men now for a large period of this game. Wales need to keep their discipline. They won't want red cards, yellow cards. They want 50 men on that field. But sometimes, Robert, you see this. You see teams that just galvanise, just try the extra bit harder. There's a long way to go with 14 men.
And James Ryan gets his hand in again to disrupt that Welsh line-out. You suspect that Paul O'Connell has done a lot of that analysis during the week, alongside his line-out skipper, if you like, James Ryan. And it's certainly worked so far with those 2 steals. Conor Murray launches one high, and Hallam Amos is underneath this. No Josh Adams, remember, he's been suspended for 2 games for breaching COVID protocols within the camp. Thomas Williams, up comes Josh van der Fleer. Josh Navidi now gets a little bit of space to move forward. Roaming roll from Navidi, now Tipperick. Here is Ken Owens. Ireland may have a lot of defending to do with these 14 men. Thomas Williams to Wyn Jones. In comes Taulupe Faletau. Bigger into midfield. Johnny Williams caught high, was he, by Johnny Sexton? Yes, he was. Here's Bigger. Now George North trying to find a way through that outside channel. Thomas Williams, and that red card looks to have given Wales some energy here. Johnny Williams, Wales advancing up the field. Tadhg Beirne goes in to try to steal. Here is Faletau, looking full of running and pace. Williams, Wyn Jones, great hands from Wyn Jones. Alan Wyn Jones. Ireland attempting to umbrella that defence, wrapping around to the outside to try and cut out the route that Wales looked to take into that wider channel.
Ball's here.
Just lost a little bit of momentum there, didn't it, when it went through Alan Jones's hands.
Here is Bigger, George North on form here, and that ball had to go to hand, and Navidi might have been away and into the corner. Lewis Rees-Zammit, one of the quickest players, if not the quickest player on the field out there today.
Shoulder, still made contact with the net.
Quite a lot of advantage there paid by Wayne Barnes. That's a good line there by Johnny Williams.
Yeah, it just slipped up.
Just slightly high.
It's only on the 22 where he turned it over. It's kicking distance, Johnny.
Lazy, really. You know, you need to get lower in tackles. You can't stay upright like that anymore. You run the risk of arm connecting with shoulder, with chin. That's what's happened.
I do remember Ireland winning a test match reasonably recently, having had a player sent off. It was the first test against South Africa in Cape Town in 2016. CJ Stander was sent off after taking out Pat Lambie in the air. So there's a bit of history in this department. It was quite early in that match too.
Yeah, look, it's not impossible at all, but certainly made their job this afternoon a lot harder. You know, we can have no complaints about that red card either. You know, it's not going to be one that's going to be talked about on social media for days and weeks. Clear cut.
Well, Ireland have won the last 4 meetings, including 2 Rugby World Cup warm-up matches, and twice then in 2020, the Six Nations and the Autumn Cup. That was in November when Ireland won 32-9. That was Wales' 6th loss in a row. A game of 31 penalties. Wales conceding 18 in that match. Killed in the set piece at the breakdown. 9 penalties conceded. Wales laboured attack, not one try scoring chance. But here in Cardiff today, they lead by 6 points to 0 against 14 men.
Yeah, they do. Discipline being absolutely spot on from Wales at the moment. Giving away no penalties. Ireland giving away 4. Now 2 of those led to 6 points.
There it is, the new Ireland forwards coach. Paul O'Connell had a spell, unsuccessful spell, down at Stade Francais, working with Heineken Meyer. It has been drawn back into the box by the RFU. Here is Faletau. Knocked on, was it, by George North? Yeah, was Taulupe Faletau, who was on the bench for Bath against Bristol last week. Had to come on after 11 minutes. He was on fumes by the end of the game. Both Bath locks went off with the HIAs, but he was still making tackles in the 70th minute.
This is just where, you know, you need a little bit of composure. You've just put 3 points on the board. You take the kick off, set her up, clear your lines. That's why coaches put so much emphasis on receipt kicks, you know, receiving the kickoffs. 2 or 3 phases, clearing your lines, not messing around. Just tries to deliver a wonder pass there. The Hallam Amos wasn't on. And now they've just given away possession and a lot of territory.
One of the problems for Wales is that they have a number of players who play in the English Premiership who have to go back to their clubs if required between test matches in the Six Nations. Faletau one of those, Dan Bigger another, Thomas Francis another.
Bind. Set. Stay close to the scrum. Stay close to the scrum.
Rock solid from Ireland.
Go on, use it, please. Both down.
Murray. Sexton to Ringrose in the inside centre position. Bit high from Johnny Williams. Looks like he's hurt himself in that challenge. Here's Henshaw. 2 Welsh jerseys meet him. Adam Beard is one of those. Now it's Andrew Porter, the 19-stone Irish tight head, takes several Welshmen to stop him. He's a punishing carrier, as Porter. Very hard to stop, close to the line. Sexton, Henshaw, good hands by Ireland, good defence by Wales, trying to stop the Irish at source. Sexton pushes the ball through and into touch Ireland, putting on some pressure.
Oh, that's nice from
Not
Sexton.
now, dead.
Perfect weight.
Half a metre off it, please. Half a metre off it.
There's nothing really on in front of him. Just eyes up, puts it through. Hugh Keenan's taken a knock there. Some brutal shots going on.
Better line out. Tipperick takes it well. He's such an athlete. Gymnastic ability in the air there, the line out. As Wales try to escape from this smoky room through Thomas Williams. Here's James Lowe. Scored a try in his Irish debut against Wales. Last play of the game in the Autumn Cup. Tadhg Beirne tries to latch on to James Ryan. One of 2 blue head guards on the field today, alongside Justin Tipperick, representing the Trevanos club. Sexton. Ringrose was shepherded off the ball there and taken by Talupe Faletau. Ringrose can complain all he likes, he's getting nothing there. As Halfpenny tries to blast the ball away into touch, and it finds James Lowe. Sexton. It's going aerial again. One for James Lowe to chase. Is that going to stay in play? Difficult ball to deal with. Away goes Tadhg Beirne for James Lowe. Really strong with ball in hand. Has shown that in his spell with Leinster since he came from New Zealand. Here is Henshaw trying to twist away from George North. Gets help from Johnny Sexton. Now Porter again. A real handful when he gets the ball in those mitts of his. Here is Stander, now Henshaw. Has he got the pace to get outside the tackle of Thomas Williams? Not quite. Ryan. Now Sexton runs straight into Josh Navidi. Very fine back row forward, has been hampered by a number of injuries. Concussion the latest.
Tackle again, get away.
2 blue head guards go literally head to head there. Remember, Gethin Jenkins is now the defensive coach here in Wales. Here is Ringrose. Great tackle by Dan Biggar. Superb stuff from the Wales 10, but still Irish ball for Sexton. Van der Fleer. Super hands once more from Ireland. Murray to Sexton to Henshaw. Now James Lowe. And Lewis Rees-Zammit called into defensive duties there. Sexton. CJ Stander.
Just lost forward.
Just lost forward by Ireland. But you can certainly see what Andy Farrell is trying to bring to this Irish side. A little bit more heads up than the more prescriptive style under Joe Schmidt.
Yeah, certainly. Just knocked it on there, but Ireland had a lot of possession there. Nearly twice got on the outside of Wales. Dan Bigg with a fabulous cover tackle. George North as well. Tackled that man there. Jonathan Sexton, man and ball, needed to. Otherwise, they were going around the outside.
That's a fair point. OK, scrum then. Wales ball. Just off
the offload, isn't it,
forward.
from Stander. Just ricochets off Sexton. I think that man's going for an HIA assessment.
Yeah. You got HIA. Who do you need?
There it is. Oh.
Yeah, of course you can. And you got 5 green just coming on as well.
That's high as well. You look at this tackle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Andrew, just if you're in that defensive line and you're counter-attacking, let's just be careful where you're standing, okay? Because it's coming right close to your nose, that counter-attack. And we
in terms of the tackle, in terms of lowering your height, you know, we're trying to get away from head on head.
I haven't seen it, Johnny.
Johnny Williams rushed out that line.
OK, scrum.
Nick Tompkins is on. 330 metres, top metres maker for Wales in the Six Nations. in 2020, though he did miss 5 tackles against Ireland. You might remember one that led to Jordan Larmour try.
Really good discipline pre-scrum. Okay, let's just keep this height.
A
Let's keep
nightmare,
it off
didn't
the
he, with
floor.
Robbie Henshaw as well.
Same control.
But, you know, you learn from that. He's still relatively new at this level.
Same control.
And what a start he had against Italy. Probably expecting to kick on a little bit quicker.
James Ryan off as well with a head injury assessment. So Ian Henderson comes on. He's just come back from injury, hip surgery followed by a knee injury for Ian Henderson.
Control on bind. Both teams
So
control on bind.
At the moment, you know, you can see it, you can feel it, you can hear the collisions. Massive, you know, 2 powerhouses. You know, more so with Ireland, with the bulk they've got, and Wales matching them.
There's Nick Tompkins.
Crouch.
Now with the Dragons.
Bind. Set.
Ireland enjoying plenty of possession and territory with 14 men.
High bind.
At the moment, Wales not fully taking advantage of it. And off goes Nick Tompkins, who beat 24 defenders in the Six Nations last year. Few defensive lapses, but very good with ball in hand. Here's Dan Biggar. Wales again struggling to escape from their own half. Off goes Hugo Keenan. Good footwork from the Ireland fullback. Here's Murray down that big blind side, looking for support to pop that ball off to. Now it's Van der Fleer. Sexton for Tadhg. Of course, the Welsh side will know Tadhg very well indeed, because he was in the Scarlet side that won the Pro 12 a few years ago. Former Scarlets player of the season indeed, Tadhg.
Just here, Conor.
Conor Owens guilty, giving away Wales' first penalty. Not too bad. 25-minute mark. It's not releasing. What a luxury to have him back for Wales. Missed him massively last season.
Your way, Alex.
Missed his carrying ability, scrummaging. How good he is with his darts in the line-out. Such a vital part of this Wales team.
Great to see former Wales hooker, certain Richard Hibbard, scoring a wonderful hat-trick for the Dragons last Friday, Tom.
Okay, that's a middle.
Yeah, I think we can describe that as a fat trick of tries. Still life left in him yet. 3 tries in the first half as well.
10, please.
And he didn't win man of the match.
Don't join early. Hold, please.
Yeah, Shane Delahunt was man of the match. Talking of hookers, the Connacht hooker, and here's the Ireland hooker, and this time it's, I think it was Adam Beard who got up there for Wales. 6 foot 8 inches of him. Big boy from the Ospreys. Left out of the autumn internationals, but finding a bit of form with the Ospreys, starting to win games under Toby Booth. Thomas Williams thumps it away, keeps the ball in play yet again.
Yeah, that's a ploy, isn't it? Not to give Ireland a chance to attack from line-out set piece.
Stinging tackle from Alan Wynne-Jones.
Knocked on by red, not by green.
And Ian Henderson carries. Now Murray, it's all Ireland in terms of ball possession. Really, pretty much since Peter O'Mahony was sent off.
You can see him there, backfire on the blind side, looking for holes, looking for.
Went too long. Arrive on your feet, please.
They're just getting up off the ground.
Yeah, he's frog splashed. Must get on his feet, please.
He's just starting to give away a couple of penalties here, having conceded none, as you quite rightly pointed out, Tom, in the opening 25 minutes or so.
That's because the pressure is mounting from Ireland.
That was a knock-on
they've had plenty of ball.
You just got in there.
You keep pressurising teams, eventually they will give away penalties. If we look here, he's not supporting his weight initially.
Need his feet underneath him, not going that long, okay? Huh? Yeah.
So Johnny Sexton's going to kick a goal here. The 35-year-old Johnny Sexton, one of his heroes. Tom Brady is playing tonight at the age of 43 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. 10th Super Bowl for Brady, and Johnny Sexton's always talking about playing forever.
Will he go to 43?
Fair point.
I think he'd like to. He can stay fit. He's talking about the World Cup, isn't he? in 2023 in France.
I think he would if he could just come on for the attack, like Brady, wouldn't he?
Just throw the touchdowns, Johnny. 4 European titles, 5 Pro 14s for the Ireland out half. He will win his 100th cap if he plays against England and all the Six Nations games in between. Wind's really buffeting out there. There's a storm on the way. Storm Darcy. An Irish storm, and the Welsh have been facing a bit of an Irish storm since Peter O'Mahony left the field, and at last the Irish are on the board.
Yeah, they deserve that. The amount of possession they've had. We can't forget they're down to 14 men. They're still trying to play. Still trying to play with tempo. They're not trying to slow the game down. Looking for those backdoor passes. Looking to try and create a bit of width. But they've got to do something special, I think, to be able to win this now.
Dan Biggar's restart. And off goes Robbie Henshaw.
Take him back, take him back.
James Lowe, he's played at full-back. Played quite a bit of New Zealand there. He's played for the New Zealand Maori in the 15 shirt as well. And here's a
inside, bring them on.
Very fine 15 and Lee Halfpenny. James Lowe.
Bring them on.
Had to play full-back because Hugo Keenan was a long way upfield. Is that going to go all the way? Lee Halfpenny giving the ball every opportunity.
22. Ball's live. Okay, with your kicker now, please.
Wales have lost their last 2 at home in the Six Nations. France here and Scotland in Llanelli. Ireland's last Six Nations game was that defeat to France 35-27 in Paris, when both sides were chasing the title. They both failed, and England picked the title up on points difference. Murray. Sexton to Ringrose again, looks for the space. He seems to see the smallest of gaps, and he's got the pace to get through them as well. Here's Porter, really industrious, the tight head with his ball carrying. Sexton, that inside ball again. Ian Henderson this time in possession. The Welsh struggling to get their hands on the ball at the moment. Porter, Keenan, now it's Ringrose again. Here's Keith Earls, 32 tries for Ireland.
Tackle, away you go.
33rd try would match his age. Off goes James Lowe. He's a really powerful ball carrier. Very well put together as Lowe. Now Ty Byrne. Gosh, it's all Ireland right now. Here's Sexton, standing a little bit wider this time with Ringrose at first receiver. Murray for Sexton. Keith Earls, little hitch kick. Tackle from Thomas Williams, who's done some pretty good defensive work for Wales so far. Henderson charging forward, Rhino style. Now Stander. The pressure building and building here. This Welsh defence being stressed as Alan Wynne-Jones goes in. Now Stander. Good tackle from Thomas Francis. Here's Sexton. Porter.
Tackle, away you go.
Carrying has really been exceptional. Sexton, oh, poor pass for Robbie Henshaw. Did it go forwards? No, says Wayne Barnes. Play on as Van der Fleer bridges, and Murray goes in for Henderson now. Recycle after recycle for Ireland. Phase number 18. Faletau puts his hands on the ball. Didn't lift it. It's part of the new application of that law. Now they have it. Here's Justin Tipuric. Great hands from George North. But the pass was forward, and Lewis Rees-Zammit was so quick to be, so close to being away there.
I'm not sure who came in with that massive hit from Ireland, but it was vital. It just forced the ball forward. It might have been James Lowe, could have been Robbie Henshaw.
5 greens filling it, isn't it?
We have a look here now. Here's a turnover. Wynne-Jones gets it. That hit there
Number 22.
From Henshaw, just forces George North, panics him a little bit, takes him by surprise, passes that ball forward. But I tell you, there's space for Ireland. You know, they're keeping their width. They're just not able just to get outside that sort of 13 channel. I think if they kept their depth a little bit more, there's space there.
That's amazing. Thomas Francis, 13 tackles already for the tight head. Alan Beard just behind on 10, but it shows you how much possession Ireland have had.
Yeah, it does.
Scrums.
And they've looked good as well when they've had it. You know, it's just that final pass, I think, with Ireland at the moment. And there's been a couple of man and balls. We've just seen one there from Henshaw, but George North has had one. Dan Bigg has had one. Justin Tippett's had a cover tackle, so Ireland are really threatening.
Well, Wales have already made 100 tackles, exactly 100 tackles so far. Ireland just 42, and remember Peter O'Mahony sent off quite rightly, straight red card for him, shoulder to the head of Thomas Francis.
Wales will be used to this. You know, you look at their form at their last campaign, the Autumn Nations Cup. There's been so many times they've had to make do without the ball, rely on their defence.
Crouch. Bind.
This is where Ireland look threatening. Off set piece, off the scrum.
Keep the height.
Especially.
Keep high.
Well, Ireland have been potent off set piece. 13 of their 17 tries in the last Six Nations came from line out and scrum. Here's Lowe. Murray for Henderson. He's keeping a little bit of width there, Ian Henderson. Now Johnny Sexton and Hugo Keenan. Ireland outnumbered in the wider channels that time. And the Welsh come in off their feet and give away the penalty here. Now it's Josh van der Fleer.
Penalty, 13, too long.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Hallam Amos, last man there. Jams in. Stop that ball going out wide. And so penalty has been given.
Fellas, if you're contesting on your feet, okay?
One of the Irish journalists, former Irish international second row, Neil Francis, wrote during the week that Wales were one step away from the abyss. And you think Tom Shanklin, I'm rolling in a grenade here, they'd be closer to that if Wales managed to lose this international against 14 men.
You speaking to Stephen Ferris? But yeah, you know, it could happen. It could happen, but George North there, off his feet, you know, probably wouldn't have had too many chances to jackal the ball in his career, being on the wing. But you've got to be able to support your own weight. That's what Wayne Barnes is saying. His arms are over the top. They're on the ground.
Well, Ireland there, no points from all their visits to the Welsh 22 in this game so far. But an opportunity now for Johnny Sexton to break that particular duck and square this game up at 6 points apiece. He scored over 100 points against Wales in his long international career. This is 14th game against Wales, and 6 apiece it is.
The big difference this last sort of 15-20 minutes for Ireland is their discipline. You know, right at the start of the game they've given away a lot of penalties, allowing Wales to relieve pressure and get field position. The last 15 they've been really clean.
60-40 possession to Ireland in this first half. And Wales against 14, they really haven't created a true try-scoring chance. To be fair, neither side has really. What a great clearing kick that is.
That's unbelievable. That's fantastic. Imagine being an Irish forward looking up and seeing that, where the ball lands. Huge kick.
On your front.
Irish fans will excuse James Lowe, the elaborate man bun after a kick like that.
He kicks a lot, doesn't he, for a winger as well? Really accurate with it. You know, proper genuine option.
Here's Josh van der Fleer, good work from him. Now it's Tagburn, very athletic. On the hoof is Tadhg-Beirne. Johnny Sexton switch ball for Robbie Henshaw. Henshaw gets through the defence. Josh van der Flier stretches for the line. Ireland so close, and they're there now. And they've got their try of Ireland, and it's Tadhg-Beirne who comes up with the ball. This man really is a force of nature.
You sensed it was coming, didn't you? The amount of possession that Ireland have. You thought something was going to happen, and this is how it occurs.
Thanks, mate.
Nothing on here. Robbie Henshaw cuts back inside. He's just looking for space. Great step off the left there. Even better offload to van der Flier. Gets so close. And that's just a pick and go, isn't it, from Tadhg-Beirne? But look, there it is off the left. That's quality, that is. Absolutely nowhere to go. You think he's run up a blind alley. He doesn't. He turns it into attack. And that's just composure from Tadhg-Beirne. You know, we see that so many times. Players just knocking that on, not concentrating. Well deserved. You've got to say that. The possession they've had, down to 40 men.
Great decision by Josh van der Flier as well. A lot of players might have been tempted there to stretch for the line, double movement. But as you say, composure. And Wales conceding the first try of this international. They've lost 3 lineouts in this first half. That set piece continues to struggle, helping to give Ireland inroads to this game. So Johnny Sexton, in his 12th Six Nations campaign, stretches Ireland's lead as half-time approaches.
What a psychological boost there for Ireland. 40 men on the field, created a try. Robbie Henshaw, moment of brilliance. Tadhg-Beirne with the pick and go, but huge boost to Ireland. You just think, what's Wales going to do now? Are they going to go into their shells?
Conor Murray just wonder where Wales' confidence is. Just 3 wins from Wayne Pibak's first 10 matches in charge, and 2 of those were against Italy. The other one was against Georgia. Ian Henderson comes pouncing in, pirouetting in, and that was a very athletic turnover
on his feet
from the Ulsterman.
You can see, can't you, all the energy is with Ireland at the moment, and you're right, with Wales, you know, it is a confidence issue. You look at their last results.
Looks like Polly Barnes did his hair as well.
I wonder when she's going to finish Wayne's hair anyway.
10 metre, mate.
She's done half a job.
10 metre line's yours, Wales.
What?
10. What? Yeah, we'll get 10.
Tipperick doesn't get him first go.
Okay, thanks, Ireland.
No, slides off him. Such a big, strong man, isn't he, Ian Henderson? Tough one to move.
Who's in, who's not? Stay 10 metres in. 2 metres, Ken.
It's the final play of this first half. Tadhg-Beirne, and here's Thomas Williams. Steals the ball. He's almost away here, Thomas Williams. Lots of green shirts in front of him, though.
No, it's just
Can Wales finish this first half on a high? They've seen very little ball. George North on the outside, the Lee Halfpenny. 2 Irish defenders there quickly. James Lowe is one, Gary Ringrose the other, and they turn the ball over, and off goes James Lowe.
If you look here on the right-hand side, Thomas Williams is down. He's pulled his hamstring, he can't move. It's just whether Ireland realise it.
Andrew Porter's had a tremendous first half. Look at that carrying again. Always making meters is Porter. And Ireland decide this time to put the ball into touch. Johnny Sexton, as close to the tunnel as he could be, didn't even have to break stride, and down the tunnel he went. And Ireland with 14 men, remember, Peter O'Mahony sent off in that first half. Wales might be about to lose their scrum half. Thomas Williams looked like he pulled something there. Oh yes, he definitely did, as he went down that touchline. So it's looking good for Ireland at the break. They've scored that solitary try through Tadhg Beirne, and they lead Wales by 13 points to 6. And forcing the Welsh defence to make a lot of decisions, and doing all that with 14 men. Peter O'Mahony red carded in the 14th minute. Wales very little time in the Irish 22. And have not really threatened the Ireland line. Ireland good value for their 13-6 lead. Gareth Davis is on for Thomas Williams, who was injured at the very end of that first half.
Time you're at.
So Dan Biggar with the restart. Wales a lot to do. Didn't see a lot of the ball in that first half. A lot of Irish players played very well. A lot of accurate rugby from the men in green. Conor Murray, taken by Lee Halfpenny. Player of the series in the 2013 Lions. Justin Tipuric, who was caught out by Robbie Henshaw's step that led to the try. Gareth Davis to Dan Biggar. Here is Nick Tompkins. Beats defenders for fun. Tompkins went on form.
Backwards,
Davis, ball goes backwards, little fumble from Davis, now Tipuric. Here's George North in his 99th appearance for Wales. He's over 100 now when you include his Lions Test appearances. Wyn Jones carries well. Gareth Davis goes in, now Biggar for Tompkins. Up comes Ringrose, and Henshaw working in tandem the centres. The ball is flipped back on the Irish side, and Hugo Keenan again puts the ball into the air. Here's Alan Wyn Jones, remember, sporting that shiner in the left eye. Altercation during training involving Jake Ball. Again, it's Wyn Jones. In goes try scorer for Ireland. Tadhg. He's turned the ball over. He's stripped the ball clear. Great work by the Munster former Scarlet second row. Nice stander for James Lowe, getting himself involved. Henshaw, one of Ireland's best players in that first half.
No, you stepped off.
Murray, stander, runs straight into Josh Navidi.
Release him and back up.
Navidi gets his hands on the ball. Well, Ireland managed to shove him off it. Here's Sexton, sliced that one ever so slightly. Did it land on turf before the line? No, it didn't.
Put Ireland on the 10-metre line.
Wales losing the ball twice there in attack.
Really close to stealing the ball twice there, Tom. What do Wales need to do in this second half against 14 that they didn't do in the first half?
Well, they've lost the ball twice there in attack. They need to keep hold of the ball. They need to make sure that they're not losing it, they're taking it into contact, they're recycling it.
Make sure
at the moment, Ireland are the one that's able to dominate this game, to dominate possession.
Taken by Beard, the line out functioning that time. George North, big, powerful, strong George North, hammering into that Irish defence, which stays solid. Was that fumbled forward? It goes backwards again from Gareth Davis. He's living dangerously. There's another Welshman down injured. Here's Tipuric. Tipuric breaks through almost. Rob Herring just gets him by the coattails.
You overrun it and you've come in the side.
And then they come in from the side. Wales opportunity gone.
Well, there we go. That's the third attack Wales have had and lost the ball.
Number 3 entry. Number 3 overrun it, then entry.
So Thomas Francis there has overrun the ruck. He's coming from the side. That's what the penalty is for.
Just watch his off. He's just caught a finger.
But the difference between Wales and Ireland is Ireland are able to look after the ball for large periods and put pressure onto Wales. Wales aren't at the moment. You know, discipline has been really good with Ireland as well. They're not giving away any penalties. They're not giving Wales a chance to kick to touch, to get possession, to get a bit of territory. Just been really squeaky clean.
2020 Wales lost twice to Ireland, France and England in the Six Nations and Autumn Cup. When you combine those two competitions, also to Scotland for the first time in a long time down in West Wales in Llanelli.
Wales, they need to manipulate the Irish defence as well. We saw an example, you know, in the second half where you got George North running at two props. I thought Porter and Cian Healy did really well to maintain it, but that's the matchups you want, you know, but you need that little bit of space. It was probably a little bit too tight down the blind side.
Wales 1 win and 4 losses in the Six Nations last year. Ireland 3 home wins against Scotland, Wales and Italy. Remember Andy Farrell taking over from Joe Schmidt after Ireland were blasted out of the World Cup by New Zealand in the quarter-finals, shipping over 40 points. Ultimately a very disappointing World Cup for Ireland. Wales, remember, reaching the semi-finals where they lost very narrowly to South Africa. A great day for Andre Pollard, 5 from 5. Wales pushed them all the way. Things not working out too well since Warren Gatland left and Wayne Pivac took over. Now those line-out statistics. Wales losing 3 already. But this is Ireland's ball, and Rob Herring, as the wind continues to buffet, as this storm gathers strength. Storm Darcy moving in from the east. Not quite a beast from the east, as we had in 2018 here in the UK, which basically froze the UK solid for about 4 weeks.
Tackle!
Great work from Ireland again. Real strength over that ball, making those hard meters. Murray. Cian Healy goes into support, trying to get Alan Wynne-Jones out of the way. Murray puts ball to boot, and Halfpenny calls for the mark under no pressure.
So I find that a little bit bizarre. It was a nothing kick. Didn't go anywhere, it wasn't a challenge.
Yeah, go on.
There's no advantage given, just gave away the ball.
10-metre
3
line.
Wales players already have double-figure tackle counts. Not one Irish player is in double figures in terms of tackles.
Bring them on.
So far.
Play on, kicked it.
58% possession for Ireland, 42 for the Welsh. James Lowe has hit some real bangers with that left foot in this game so far. And up he comes too quickly. Lee Halfpenny was too wise to that. And here's the opposite number to Halfpenny at fullback for Ireland, Hugo Keenan. In comes Biggar, one of the best players in the world in the air. Sensational at chasing his own kicks a lot of the time. Here's Tompkins. Wales looking perhaps to go from deep here. Hallam hasn't seen too much of the ball. That looked very high on Hallam, in because Josh Adams has been suspended for breaking those COVID protocols.
High tackle.
I wonder will Wayne Barnes have a little look at that. There was a high tackle in the first half that wasn't referred to the TMO or spotted by the TMO involving Johnny Williams. What about this one? Seatbelt?
Yeah, seatbelt's lazy, isn't it? He's not dipping. He's stand upright. I mean, that's a mismatch as Wales will want. You know, you want your winger to look up and see a front row there. Heron actually does really well to come across, but it's just lazy, not dipping, not sinking at the hips.
Hallam is completing his medical studies this year. 9 years he's been doing them for. That's 1 year longer than Jamie Roberts. And Hallam was saying that during lockdown he read between 25 and 30 books, including both Obama autobiographies.
I reckon I've done 20 to 30 series.
Postman Pat, was it?
On Spider-Man. This is the first sort of opportunity now Wales have had in a long time. Offset piece inside Ireland's half.
This line-out simply has to stick, and it's gone to Tipuric. Here's Navidi. Faletau. So the back row, the trio working together. Gareth Davis has a really good try-scoring record for Wales. Good defence by Porter. Here's Ken Owens. Nice handiwork from the Welsh hooker. Dropped though by Faletau. They just haven't been as precise and as accurate as Ireland have been with ball in hand.
You don't expect that from your leaders like Faletau.
Yeah,
Pretty simple ball to take. Takes his eyes off it. Really good line screen by Ian Henderson. Just to get his eye line.
Green ball.
But you know, if Wales want to stand a chance in winning this, they've got to keep the ball for longer than 3 or 4 phases. They've got to be an amount of pressure onto Ireland to create mismatches, to create space at the moment.
Okay, scrum,
2 or 3
ball.
phases in, they're either losing it in contact, dropping the ball, entering from the side of the ruck.
Same discipline, same control.
Ireland really surging up in defence. Ironically, their defence coach is a former Scarlet. Simon Easterby played all of his club rugby here in Wales. Steve Tandy probably didn't get the credit he deserved yesterday for Scotland's performance against England. He's the Scotland defence coach now, and another man, of course, coached here in Wales, played in Wales for the Ospreys. Here's Ringrose. Good footwork again from Ringrose. Both Ireland centres playing well. That looked like a knock forward, surely, and it is. And it's Welsh advantage here. Faletau. Here is George North. Again, tries to use that muscle to get through green shirts.
Advantage, penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage now to Wales. Gareth Davis sniping. Navidi flicks it away to George North. Here's the chance. Here's the try for Wales. At last they have bust through this Ireland defence, and it's one of the big dogs, George North, with his 42nd try for Wales in his 99th appearance.
Big players stand up in big games. There's no one in this Welsh team that's hit the form that he is at the moment for his club. That's why they moved him into the centre, not just because of the injury, but because they want him to have his hand on the ball more times. That's where initially the knock-on occurs, and then it's just heads-up rugby. Great offload there by Josh Navidi. That's the offload that creates the space. James Lowe has to make a decision. Does he jam in? Does he not? Ian Henderson, CJ Stander both really tight to that rope. It took them by surprise, I think, that offload. And that's a great show and go and pace to finish off.
Ireland overplaying a little bit there with the ball. George North's 21st Six Nations try now, just one behind the great Shane Williams.
Yeah, thanks.
Lee Halfpenny is now past Neil Jenkins' record Six Nations total of points for Wales. 4 Lions tests for Halfpenny. And this to square things up. Difficult kicking conditions now, and he's pretty close, but not close enough, and Ireland just about hang on to this lead. But what a game we have now. We have 15 against 14.
Great scrummaging.
And you wonder how Wales going to get themselves out of that hole. You get yourselves out by giving it to your best player. But it was all created from that offload from Josh Navidi. Took the Irish defence by surprise and well finished off.
Did Jake Ball punch him as well? We'll get shiners in this Welsh team. Wouldn't fancy their training sessions. Here's Faletau. Good take by the world-class number 8. Flying a straight in the West Country with Bath. Gareth Davis clears away for Wales.
Well, no, that's a change in tactic now. All those kicks have been staying in field recently. Was it purposely kept the ball in, not to give Ireland any line-outs? That one, though, decided Gareth Davis put it out on the foot.
Ireland, number 17, Dave Kilcoyne, replaces number 1, Cian Healy.
Dave Kilcoyne, Killer Kilcoyne of Munster, coming on. He's only had 61 minutes of action after a long absence with an ankle injury. 2 appearances. So many players on this Irish side returning from injuries. Great drive by Ireland. That's superb work. And away goes Josh van der Fleer. Set up that try for Tadhg Beirne. Great hands by Johnny Sexton. That dummy was not going to be bought by that Welsh defence. Dan Biggar made the tackle. Turnover by Tipuric. And that ball launched all the way out on the full. Disappointing for Wales.
Poor mistake that. Really good turnover. Justin Tipperick gets in there.
Kick straight out.
That's quality, isn't it? That's what you get
What stops
from a player like him. But then all wasted with a poor kick from Hallam Amos. Straight out on the full. It's disappointing, isn't it, for Welsh supporters and fans out there to see that. I tell you, that ball to Sexton would have tested his hamstring, mind. Right on the toes. Did well to pick it up.
I didn't have a clue.
He's down at the moment now.
Good work by Dan Biggar, running straight into his opposite number. And that turnover, and that's what they wanted from this new law application, the breakdown, that players, whenever they went in for the poach or the turnover, but then use it for a counter-attack like that.
Yeah, and that's what you get from turnover ball, you know. Defences are in disarray, there's space there.
I think
you've got to make the most of it.
Line is 10 metres.
And what you don't do is just kick the ball out on the full and waste the turnover and find yourself now defending back on your 22.
Well, you reckon before the game Johnny Sexton would last 50 minutes?
I told you that in confidence.
Did you?
Okay, line out.
I don't remember that bit.
Ball.
No, he has in recent times failed to last the full 80 minutes. He's had a long string of injuries.
2 metres.
And of course, he's very much Andy Farrell's and Ireland's number 1, number 10.
Outside, yeah.
The succession planning has a whole string of 10s behind him, but none yet quite in Sexton's class.
But if there's a game you dig in for, it's one today, isn't it? 14 men, 2 points up.
Contest, play on! Hands away!
Line out secured eventually by Ian Henderson. Stander, good little carry, nuggety carry from Stander. Now Henshaw. They know how dangerous Henshaw is, this Welsh defence, after what happened in that first half. He split Wales, and eventually it put Van der Fleer through. The support coming in from Tadhg Beirne. The try for Ireland. Here's Murray, here's Tadhg Beirne again. Driving hard and straight. Alan Wynne-Jones attempts to repel Kilcoyne. He's a dynamic ball carrier, the replacement loosehead. Porter, who was most certainly that for Ireland in the first half. Sexton, Van der Fleer, Tompkins and Biggar come in. Biggar gets back into his defensive position. Now it's Keith Earls, 33 years of age, trying to find a 33rd try.
They'll do a bit better.
And then Ireland concede the penalty just when they were beginning to rack up the pressure.
It's a better defensive set by Wales. Ireland having to force themselves back inside. Keith Earls take the switch, goes back inside where the big hitters are.
Say again, mate. 3.
Robbie Henshaw, another Pro 12 winner in his days with Connacht, and Pat Lam was the coach. Pat Lam now very successful at Bristol, having already won a European Challenge Cup.
Played really well today so far. Robbie Henshaw involved in everything good.
Dan, you got 12 green, HIA. What stop, please? Hold him, please.
I think he's going to go off for an HIA here as Tadhg Furlong comes on. He's been out of rugby for a long time. His comeback game was against Scarlets in the league, played 40 minutes. Looked pretty solid.
Okay, replacements, and then we'll get going.
I don't think he's come on for Robbie Henshaw, those you wondering. I hope not.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Still waiting, let's just get him off.
Superb in the loose, Tadhg Furlong, the starting tight head for the Lions in New Zealand, and Billy Burns
on Alex
is on as well. Johnny Sexton remains.
Hold.
So Sexton goes to 12, Billy Burns to 10. Here's Dan Biggar. Billy Burns straight into the action with a low chopping tackle. Good work from the ex-Gloucester man. Now George North out to Halfpenny. Hallam Amos. Gareth Davis. Biggar to Navidi. Tadhg Furlong comes in to assist with the tackle. Here's Ringrose now. Keith Earls crabbing across the field. It's going to be snaffled up there by Tompkins. Murray, Keenan. George North's tackle. Murray's going to box kick this one of the best box kickers in the business. Halfpenny usually brilliant under the high ball, and Tipperick clears up. Tipurigu's grandfather, Dragutin, was a prisoner of war, German prisoner of war, and moved from Croatia to work in the Welsh coal mines. And he played for Trevanos, where he was known as Mad Mike. And then Justin's dad, Andy, played there as well before Justin continued the tradition. Quite a history of the Tipuric family. Murray. And reverting more to what you were used to seeing under Joe Schmidt, taken out in the air. Keith Earls just getting his timing wrong there. Penalty to Wales.
Make sure he lands. You got him there, Dan, if you want it.
See the ball up here. Gareth Davies gets off well. You've got to get yourself out of that situation.
Line's yours again, Green.
To be fair, he's blocked a little bit by Ken Owens. Probably couldn't see where he was going. You can't touch a man in the air like that. But yeah, great knowledge on Tipuric's father. Anything on his mother?
No, just the male side of the family. Grandad Dragutin.
Stay 2 metres. Receiver, Josh. Stay
Mad
2.
Mike Tipuric.
Thank you.
Donald's legend. Another lost line out by Wales, and you know that set piece, that was the real problem. You can see Ken Owens' body language there, coming back into the side after shoulder surgery. I'm sure Wayne Pivac was hoping that that area of the game would be tidied up.
Yeah, you'd think so, but it's not just down to the hooker, is it, who throws the ball in? It's down to the movement, it's down to the call, it's everything. They've got another shot though, haven't they, because the ball went out on the full. It's an area they have to tidy up.
Of course, Paul O'Connell will have done a lot of analysis on the Ireland defensive line-out, causing problems for Ken Owens and his unit. Line-out very much a unit skill. Here comes this Wales driving maul. It's crumbling a little bit. Justin Tipuric in possession. Advantage here to Wales. Gareth Davies. Oh, here's another chance for Wales. Lee Halfpenny, tackled by Keenan, had to come out and commit there, but they knew they had the advantage going their way.
Number 2.
That was huge defence from Keenan there. Last man jams in on his opposite number, Lee Halfpenny. He has to. He doesn't make that tackle. Lewis Rees-Zammit is going in. Big moment there. Wales with the advantage as well. But what a read. Important read as well. You know, momentum you just feel is just coming back to the Welsh team. Ireland find themselves under a bit of pressure now.
Well, Wales are certainly growing into this game. If they could just get that line out to function more consistently, they'd put themselves in a position to do a lot more damage in this game.
Yeah, they went to the easy option at the front, didn't they? Josh Navidi just turned around, took it.
Hold 10 backs, okay? Don't join. Don't join. Same for you.
There's a lot of discussion between these Welsh forwards as they move very slowly to this line. They know they've got to get this right.
Are you coming in? 7+1, fellas. Yeah. 7+1. Yeah. Watch on. Hold 10s.
Big throw for Ken Owens. Beard. Gareth Davies. Here's Dan Biggar. Really strong from Biggar. Good tackle by Billy Burns. Ken Owens latch on from Josh Navidi. Suddenly a lot of muscularity from this
penalty is
Welsh
a high
side.
tackle by 9 on 10.
High tackle, penalty advantage again for Wales. Here's George North, Lee Halfpenny, Lewis Rees-Zammit. Great finish by Lewis Rees-Zammit. Wales find the width. They find the gap in that Irish defence, and they seem to have taken full advantage of it.
On-field decision is try. We're just checking trailing foot. And grounding the ball's fine. If not, we're coming back to high tackle against Green 9. So on-field try, please.
Okay, so we're just checking for touch. The grounding is good. On-field try.
He didn't need much room, did he, Lewis Rees-Zammit? Hadn't had much ball all day. He needs to get his feet off the ground. Oh, that is quality. What a quality finish.
And the ball is on the line.
Something worthy of the NRL, isn't it?
Happy. Stick with your on-field decision.
Acrobatic. You know, we haven't seen hardly any of it in this game so far. He just gets a sniff of a chance.
We're going to need a new flag.
Watch these hands. Good hands from George North and Lee Halfpenny, drawing the man. Get it through the hands, nice and quick. That's the ball from Halfpenny.
Almost on the line, Lee, okay?
And he knows what to do. He knows how to finish. He knows he's got to get his legs in the air. Ball in the right hand, dots it down.
Sumptuous, classy finishing from Lewis Rees-Zammit, but Lions quality from North and Halfpenny to transfer that ball.
Just the simple stuff. It was a simple catch and pass, but under pressure becomes that much more difficult. Really well executed, really well finished.
Great strike, drills it through the wind. Lee Halfpenny, what about that?
Yeah, and you think this is coming from Keith Earls, taken out, someone in the air. You know, this is where Ireland were really good at the end of that. Sort of second period in the first half, they were really good with penalties, weren't giving away anything. Now they're starting to creep. Now it's given Wales a bit of possession, some territory, and we've seen what they can do with it.
Just to remind you, just above the Ireland logo there, that little red rectangle signifies Ireland have been playing with 14 men since the 14th minute, when former Lions captain and Ireland captain Peter O'Mahony was sent off, shoulder straight to the head of Thomas Francis. Not that difficult a decision for Wayne Barnes. Gareth Davis, man who scored 15 tries for Wales. It's pretty good on the intercept. Oh, CJ Stander just pummels his way through Taulupe Faletau. Now Furlong. Here's Sexton. Tompkins can't quite get away from Tompkins. Nearly did. Here's Kilcoyne. He's very much a Route 1 man. Tag Furlong, who can use footwork when he needs to. Man of the match in that Grand Slam game for Ireland in 2018 at Twickenham against England. James Lowe trying to set himself for the offload. Was there a knock on in there on the floor? There was indeed. Ireland's accuracy and precision of that first half is beginning to drain away just a little bit.
Yeah, it's creaking, isn't it? That's just momentum switching over. You can see James Lowe. He's trying to argue the decision.
Scrum.
He's got the ball in one hand there.
That ball just lost forward by your winger.
Just gets stuck, doesn't it, in Lewis Rees-Zammit's legs, but this is the carry.
Right, we good?
Look at his eyes fixed. Oh.
Okay, we go. Oh, sorry, yeah.
I mean, how are you meant to tackle that? You go low, you get in arms, you get in knees.
Okay.
He does well just to act as a speed bump, really.
Player of the match against Wales in the Six Nations last year, CJ Stander, was actually named as player of the match, and then about 20 seconds later got a yellow card.
I tell you, Faletau does well just to get straight back up after that hit.
Finding a bit of form, Faletau. No, he's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, he has, and it's difficult, isn't it, when you go through that amount of injuries to keep a consistent level of performance and form. And like I thought, as the Autumn Nations Cup went on, he just got better and better and better. He was flying by the end of it. You know, it takes a little bit of pressure off him, having more carriers now in this Welsh team. Navidi's in there, Ken Owens is in there, both really good carriers. You know, you look back sort of 6 months ago, it's basically just him. Him in that pack, he was the biggest carrier. He was the one they were relying on. Now he can sort of share that workload.
Robbie Henshaw comes back down the tunnel, but will he come back onto the pitch? That's the question. After that HIA.
Okay, yeah, he's good. Here we are then.
Billy Burns looks across and everybody's waiting. Play goes on. Wayne Barnes wants this scrimmage to take place. So Billy Burns remains at 10, Sexton at 12. Wales have won their last 3 at home against Ireland.
Loads of control.
Although they've lost their last 2 home games in the Six Nations against France and Scotland.
Fine.
And Ireland have never lost 4 in a row away from home in the Six Nations. They've lost their last 3. So records might go here. Here's Tompkins. And having to work hard defensively there. Gareth Davis a little bit slow, and Tagburn almost got the charge down in. Here's Keenan. Billy Burns looking to snipe around that blind side. Tackle from Lewis Rees-Zammit. CJ Stander, another carry from him. Ireland's top carrier in this competition last year. Sexton. Good take by replacement scrum half, and Wyn Jones goes in at scrum half. Alan Wyn Jones, now 35 years of age, as is the other captain, Johnny Sexton, of course. Gareth Davis. James Lowe's going to get up for this one, takes it really well.
Across in and block him.
But there's blocking,
across his line and
some
block the
boosting and shepherding from Ireland going back.
Line obstruction.
Wayne Barnes spots it.
So hot on that. You can see, I think that's,
mate, that's really
Conor
clear.
Murray.
That's really clear.
Just, yeah,
I won't count.
you can't make last minute change of angles like that. You have to stay still. He just cuts across.
Alan Wyn, decision, please. Watch stop, please.
Yes, we were on a Zoom call, weren't we, Tom, last week with World Rugby and the Six Nations. They were talking about the refereeing, trigger points, what to look out for, and clear and obvious was one of them, and certainly that shepherding going back underneath the high ball was something they were looking out for.
Yeah, you can't change your angle at all. You know, players do it.
Johnny, you got your
Some get away with it, but you've got to be very careful. You can't make it clear like that.
22.
Objective number one was actually foul play, and we certainly saw an example of that in this game with Peter O'Mahony.
10. Don't come
Wayne
up
Barnes
early.
very sharp on it.
Stay 10.
Robbie Henshaw's back on into 12. Sexton returns to 10. Ken Owens' line out doesn't quite function. It might work out well though. Thomas Francis finds Alan Wyn Jones. Gareth Davis. Wheels peel around the corner. Wyn Jones. Can Ireland repel here? Gareth Davis waits for the ball. Ken Owens. Three back switch to the right hand side. Davis might go that way now. No, he's not. He's going to go to the left. Where's the ball? In comes Tagburn.
It's still in the tackle zone. It's still in the tackle zone.
Penalty Wales. Chance to extend the lead out here. This is right underneath the post.
There's only one option here, isn't there? Take the points on offer. It's getting towards the business end of this game. You can see Tagburn there for. He's not part of the tackle. He's got to come in from the back foot.
He's in the tackle zone and he's coming at the side. It's a tackle, so he's got to come from the back foot.
So you can hear it there. What Wayne Barnes is saying, he's got to come from the back foot because that tackle is still in his zone. And essentially, he enters from the side. And it's difficult, isn't it? When you see the ball like that on a plate, it sort of pops out the side. You think you can go for it, but you can't. You've got to make sure you come in from the rear gate.
Well, Ireland have failed to score a point in this second half. Haven't looked like scoring a point in this second half. And Wales have built themselves a very handy lead. Those two tries from George North and Lewis Rees-Zammit.
Is it done?
The tides have turned, haven't they, since the end of the first half, when it was all Ireland. It's now all Wales, and Ireland have to do something to try and get themselves back into this game. Wales 2 scores ahead. A comfortable buffer now for the Welsh team.
Will Rowlands is on, Liam Brown is on as well. Raging bull of replacement tight end. Leon Brown, let's see if he gets the ball in hand. He's very quick, extremely dynamic for a man of 19 stone. Will Rowlands, who's at the Wasps, but is moving back to play his club rugby in Wales next season. Former Wasps player of the season is Will Rowlands. There he is, number 19. Little flick on to Kilcoyne.
Advantage penalty.
Most of the rugby in the whole game's been played in this half of the pitch. In comes Tipperick. Good covering back by the Welsh open side.
Roger Jones there, giving the penalty away, not moving away. It's one of those things that you can't do anything about. It's a penalty because They want speed of ball. He's trying to get away, but just falls the wrong side.
Go on just there when you're on the 15.
You don't mean to fall that side. You're trying to get out of the way, but sometimes you just can't. It's one of those unfortunate penalties.
Yeah, the trigger phrase now for the referees is you've got to get east or west as quickly as you possibly can. Oh, Johnny Sexton missing a big opportunity for Ireland to pin Wales into the corner, and look where the ball is now.
Oh, he went big, didn't he? I suppose he had to go big, really. Not many opportunities they've had in this half. He tries to get it right on that 5-metre line.
At the front.
And that's returned really well, isn't it? That's Gareth Davis booting that. It might have been Callum Sheedy, I'm not sure, but it was a huge kick right up to the halfway line.
Callum Sheedy on for Wales, battling for the 10 shirt at Bristol with Eoin Lloyd, another great Welsh prospect. A superb game against Bath last week, Eoin Lloyd. Sexton, Robbie Henshaw looking to make the kind of impact now they did in the first half. Here's Herring, Johnny Sexton, little wrap move, beautiful hands by Sexton, underhand offload. Henderson runs into Navidi. It's better from Ireland. Haven't seen this kind of momentum from them for a long time. Tadhg Beirne sets it for Murray, quick ball, very fast ruck speed from Ireland there. That's what they need. Under 3 seconds. Kilcoyne, Ireland down a man, player injured. Murray, Beirne getting very close to the injured player. Murray spins the ball across the top of him. Here's Henshaw, now James Lowe comes in, tried to sneak the little offload away. Here's Murray to Kilcoyne, he's up-ended, driven back hard, good Welsh defending. Henshaw, James Lowe, 2 defenders on him. Lewis Rees-Zammit is one, now Murray. In comes Henderson, nowhere to go. Ken Owens and Alan Wynne-Jones.
Yeah,
over 200 caps between them, those two. Both in their mid-30s now, great servants, still great players, but there's still an injury in the middle of the field here. And Waynes Barnes has made a good decision, I think, to stop the play. And it's Johnny Sexton, the captain, who is down.
As he's fallen, his head's fallen into the knee, adjusted. Totally accidental. We've looked at it there, okay?
You can see that, yeah. Justin Tipuric's knee into his head, purely accidental, as Wayne Barnes has said. There's 2 medics on the field looking at him. Right decision to blow up.
These kind of collisions, accidental from Tipuric, of course, coming in here on Johnny Sexton. They can be missed by the officials, but they've got a Hawkeye camera out there looking out for concussions like that, so that the medics can see that and then get onto the field.
Yeah, safety paramount, isn't it? And they've done well to get the medics on straight away. Not happy about something. Does he think it's accidental? Does he think it was done on purpose? I mean,
the last time we saw him shaking his head like that was when he was replaced in the France-Ireland game. He wasn't too happy coming off on that occasion. And look at the tackle count there from the tight head. Yeah. Thomas Francis, 19 for a tight head. Yes, you'd expect that from the back row. Ken Owens as well, contributing to, as always, does Alan Wynne-Jones.
Huge work rate from Wales. They've had to work hard.
Make sure they're
comfortable though defending. They have to defend for large periods because they're probably not quite slick with ball in hand at the moment in their attack.
He was asking how my Christmas was.
I was seeing that right, wasn't it? Accidental from Tipuric? Do you think it's?
Yeah, he's
Johnny,
going for the ball.
You know, what is maybe Johnny's just upset that he's having to go again in an Ireland shirt before the 80.
Well, he's taking his strapping off, isn't he? So he's not going off for an assessment.
Lots of new props. Lots of new props, same discipline.
That's the end again for Johnny Sexton. Bad news for Andy Farrell. So Billy Burns returns to the field for a second time.
This might be what Ireland need. You know, someone elusive like a Billy Burns, someone that can go on and create something. You know, he's in great form for Ulster. A good man to have in your squad.
Yeah, there's a few 10s coming along to, you know, replace Johnny Sexton eventually. It is a matter of time. He is in his mid-30s. Joey Carberry is back in training with Munster. He's been out pretty much since the World Cup. And then there's the two Byrne brothers, Ross and Harry Byrne, and Jack Carty as well, Jack Crowley and Ben Healy down in Munster.
That's more than a few.
Well, they need one or two of those to, you know, start pushing right through.
We sort of thought Joey Carberry was going to be the natural player, didn't we, to come and take over from Johnny Sexton. It hasn't happened that way, through injury, through form. Certainly like the looks of these Billy Burns at 10, and also the Byrne brothers at Leinster. There are a few options, but at some stage they're going to have to pick a 10 and stick with him. I'm going to have to say, right, this is our 10. He's the guy who's going to take us through the next 3 or 4 years. Get a bit of consistency in there. If there's a position you need that, you know, it's 9 and 10.
Will Connors is on. Chainsaw Connors, another low chopper tackler like Dan Lydiate, who didn't last too long in this game. Lydiate off after 12 minutes. Robbie Henshaw going into play on the flank. Johnny May had a short spell at number 8 yesterday for England.
Keep high, keep that arm.
The trouble with that is you lose an attacker out wide. You know, difficult to attack when you want man down in a back line.
Connor, use it!
Not a bad scrum though. Here's Stander, here's Billy Burns. Oh, bit of space for Ireland here. Can Burns release the ball on the inside? Here's Murray. Now it's Will Connors. 14-man Ireland on the front foot through Tadhg Furlong. Looks really sharp and hungry. The tight head. Here's Henshaw. Generally, he's had a cracking game for Ireland. Robbie Henshaw. Will Connors again, adding layers to his game all the time. Not just a voracious tackler. He can carry two. Here's Gary Ringrose. In comes Keenan. Sheedy tries to hold him up. Tadhg Byrne already a try to his name for Ireland. Murray, one of those darting runs. So used to seeing in the past from Murray. Haven't seen too many in recent seasons. Byrne again, hammering into the guts of this Welsh defence. Where's the ball? It's very, very slow. Alwyn Jones lying on the wrong side. Advantage here to Ireland. Henshaw pulls it back. Billy Burns into space. Lewis Rees-Zammit. Jordan Larmour tries to pick it up, and in desperation Dan Biggar flops on the ball. Advantage, penalty Ireland.
Ireland picked up the pace now. Just over 8 minutes to go. You think they're going to need a try? Probably not enough time for penalties. That's Alwyn Jones there, you can see.
Watch it stopped.
Wrong side. Just like Rhodri Jones probably 3 or 4 minutes ago. He can't move.
Accidentally, I'm sure.
Ireland had a chance there on the right-hand side. It just looked like Gary Ringrose is a little bit tight to Billy Burns.
Lewis Rees-Zammit damaged his arm there, didn't he? His wrist, was it?
Yeah. Right wrist just goes down, sort of gets stuck, doesn't it, and goes over on it.
There's a lot of pain. He scored 15 tries for Gloucester last season. Really came fizzing through the Gloucester ranks, came to Welsh attention.
Go for goal. Go for goal.
There's just no defence to pure speed like he's got.
Just here. Here.
Just a great runner, ball in hand, finds space, creates space for himself.
We won't start the clock until he's up there, but you can see it.
Ireland are going to go for the posts here. The margin is 8 points, so the plan would seem to be to get to within 5 and then go for the winning converted try in the final 8 minutes. Simple.
Just wait for it.
Exciting.
Yeah, we'll carry on.
It's certainly exciting. Billy Burns has never missed a kick for
Ireland.
Ireland.
Line, please, Red.
7 from 7. He's not the first choice kicker for his Province Ulster. Those duties fall to John Cooney. And he certainly needs this one, Billy Burns, to keep Ireland in touch and in with a chance of stealing the victory here in Cardiff.
The pressure kick for Billy Burns there. You know, just off the centre, probably 10 metres to the right-hand side. Not that difficult, but made difficult because of the scoreline, because of the time left on the clock.
Watch on, please.
Well, Louis Rees-Zammit is staying on, even though he's pretty badly injured. Wales have no backs left on the bench. Ireland have brought on Jamison Gibson-Park. I think Ronan Kelleher's on as well. Eight minutes to go, just under 8 minutes. Can Ireland create one final try-scoring opportunity that might win this game for them here? Haven't won in the Principality Stadium since 2013. Dan Biggar does not collect. He normally snaffles those one up.
Got to be lifting,
not just
putting your hand on
Gareth
it.
Davis. Oh, great defence from Ireland. Will Connors comes in, helped by Ronan Kelleher. Wales staying composed though, maintaining that possession. Now it's Navidi.
Use it!
Referees are told to be pretty harsh on this use it call. Certainly not supposed to be allowed more than the 5 seconds. Rowlands tries to punch, just misses it. Tipuric does what Tipuric does. Scrambles forward half a metre.
5-8 straight off feet. Stopped any
Wales come
competition.
flying in off their feet. 2 players penalised, in fact, by Wayne Barnes. And now a chance for Ireland inside their own half to penetrate the Welsh half in this final 7 minutes and set up an attacking platform.
A bit scrappy, didn't it? You'd expect Dan Biggar to take those balls in the air originally. Wales just gets an Ireland penalty, flying off their feet in the ruck.
He's carried well, hasn't he? Tadhg 18 to Standers 17. The last time Wales and Ireland met here in the Six Nations, Wales won the Grand Slam. 2019, you might remember Joe Schmidt wanted the roof open on a horrendous day.
Thanks, fellas.
Hadley Park scored a try after 70 seconds, and it all ended with a third slam for the departing Warren Gatland. 25-0 up Wales went in that match. Jordan Larmour with a consolation try at the end. This one a lot tighter than that one.
Saw Tadhg Beirne there, top carry at that. It's just his defensive work as well, how good he is over the ball. There's so many turnovers. Good at every aspect. Defensively, attack, line out, over the ball. Phenomenal player.
Ronan Kelleher, good line-out throw. His arrows he struggled with them in his last couple of starts for Ireland. Kelleher, another player back after injury. And he's on the ball now. Another Leinster player behind him, Jamison Gibson-Park. Another former New Zealand Maori, like James Lowe. Alwyn Jones gets into his channel. And there's Larmour. Furlong. Leinster men all over the place. Of course, they dominate this Ireland squad. Another one, Robbie Henshaw. Another one of those powerful carries from the inside centre. Gary Ringrose. Gibson-Park. Welsh defence looks pretty well set. Jamison Gibson-Park for James Lowe on the burst. Hitting a hard line. Here's Tadhg Furlong. You so often see him out there as first receiver. He's such a fine footballer. Gibson-Park for Henderson. Gibson-Park once more for Billy Burns. Now James Lowe. Remember, they've got a player on the right wing with a wounded wing. Louis Rees-Zammit. Can they expose him at any stage in this attack as they build the pressure again? Burns. Oh, he looks for Larmour, a chase, and it always had too much weight on it.
Yeah, too much weight on it. Probably not the right option as well. The cover was there. You know, you just think how many opportunities now are Ireland going to have.
Line-out's yours. Line's yours,
They're
Ireland.
not going to have many. And make sure when they've got the ball, they do something with it. They've got Lee Halfpenny, Gareth Davis there covering really well.
I'll stop the watch. Okay.
Probably looking at that thinking the kick really wasn't on.
Yeah, of course you can.
It's Leon Brown just
Didn't see it. We didn't see it.
Touching up his makeup.
No one asked.
Contact
But if it's clear
lens
in the background, we'll pick it up. Okay. He would have seen if it was clear. We would have picked it up. Okay, line out's yours. Line out red. Line's yours green. Awesome. Huh, sir? Yeah, time's still off. I won't start until they're here. Unless you want me to. All right then. Who's in red?
4 lineouts
5.
in
Who's
this
your
game.
receiver?
They certainly do not
2 meters.
want to lose a 5th
2
at this
meters.
stage of the match with a
Watch
scoreline
out, Josh.
that
2
tight.
meters.
Ken Owens goes to the front again towards Tipuric. Did Ireland get a hand in there?
Call the inside arm.
And it's a penalty to Wales, and what a time to get a
Call the
penalty.
inside arm.
Tadhg Beirne pulling the arm of Tipuric there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll leave the man in the air, haven't you?
He'll jump up.
Just been giving him a massive big up. What a player he is. Gives away a penalty. It's always the case.
Remember, you can't charge down a penalty kick, CJ. No, it doesn't matter.
Wales ambling slowly over for this line out. Ian Barnes should really give them the hurry up, but they know they've only got to eke out another 3.5 minutes to secure the victory. Ken Owens again. Where's he going to go to this time?
Good
Goes
contest.
to Big Will
Yes.
Rowlands.
All gone.
Uses all 6 foot 8 inches of him.
Once.
Former Oxford Blue Will Rowlands played in the varsity match 9 years ago. Ireland get the turnover ball here, so there might yet be another opportunity for this Irish side. They've a long way to go.
Just didn't see it.
Remember, with 14 men.
Scrum,
There's a
green
long
ball.
way to go. And they can't be putting it back in the scrum now. Normally in your own ball, you put some from the back line into the scrum.
Okay, green
I
ball.
think they're going to need all their players out
First
there.
scrum, it's just loads of control. Okay,
We're
loads.
really going to have to go to this Welsh defence
Nice
now.
first scrum. Nice
Everything's
first
got to be slick. Well, as we said, there's one area that they are decent off. It is set piece. It is their attack off set piece.
Keep the height, keep the control.
Yeah, they scored 4 tries off the scrum in the Six Nations last season. 17 tries they scored in total. 13 from set piece, 9 from the line out. And there's the Six Nations, Guinness Six Nations player of the match, Wyn Jones. What a performance from the loose head.
Scrum being an area that's been creaking for Wales. Really shored up today.
Billy Burns got to go from deep, don't they? Gary Ringrose out to James Lowe. Up ahead of him, Lewis Rees-Zammit with that damaged wrist. Jamison Gibson Park, bit of room here for Ireland. Can he dance his way through that gap? Closed quickly by Wales. Ireland move into the Welsh half. Tadhg Beirne must have been quite close to the Guinness Six Nations player of the match himself, as would Robbie Henshaw, you would think. Billy Burns, what a pass from Henshaw. All spin and fizz.
Don't touch the 9.
Stander low. 3 Welsh defenders there, filling that gap. No way through.
You're pushing it into him.
Gibson
Play
Park
on.
once more. Tadhg Beirne for Will Connors. Billy Burns pulls it back for Keenan. Owen up quickly there was Tompkins, and he just did enough to get into the eye line and cause the mistake.
He did just enough. Force Larmour to step back in, but as he stepped back in, he loses the ball in contact. It was an important decision to make.
Scrum.
You can see this ball hit from Keenan. You know, Larmour's sort of done Tompkins on the inside, but Tompkins gets enough of his body into Larmour to force that knock on. And there, Wayne Pivac
Scrum
happy
then. Okay,
with
what's
that.
back on?
They might have been away there, Ireland, on the outside. They're 2 players.
Yeah, but you know, when you shoot out the line like Tompkins did, it forces the player back in, so it takes a little bit of momentum out of the move. It allows defences to cover across.
Really nice contact. Keep the control. Keep the control at this scrum.
There's been a couple of key defensive reads. That was one. You know, we saw in the first half, George North had one. And they're so key when you blitz out the line like that. You've got to take man and ball. And he did.
15 seconds to go. This scrum should do it for Wales. Off goes Gareth Davis. decides to give the ball back to Ireland. Was that the best decision? Off goes Keenan. He's given Ireland a chance here. Henshaw. Still, you got to favour Wales here. Ken Owen still working hard in the 80th minute. Remember, he's been out with shoulder surgery. What a shift by Owens. And Alan Wynne-Jones, to be fair, who is back after a knee problem. Made a hyperbaric chamber put into the house, Alan Wynne-Jones, to help his recovery. Tadhg, Billy Burns. Here comes George North. Can he shake off Robbie Henshaw? There's a knock on.
Okay, there's a knock on. I'm just checking whether it's deliberate.
Oh, it might be a
just checking whether that is a one-handed deliberate knockdown.
Okay, just having a look.
So whether it's a penalty or a knock-on.
Just a little bit more tension to absorb here.
A bit more drama left.
Hand comes in from Tompkins.
He's not catching that, is he?
It's a penalty.
Yeah, agree.
He is not catching that. Graze it with his fingers. Good spot by Wayne Barnes. So Ireland get the penalty.
You do have time for the line-out.
Not sure what Gareth Davis was doing.
As long as it goes
kicking the ball away at the back of the scrum there.
It was a pointless kick. It was a useless kick. You know, didn't even go close to the touchline. You know, you'd rather him just kick that ball dead.
You know, there was one more phase. Just shift it to someone behind you and drive into contact, get it to ground, out of play, somewhere close to Newport, belt it down the high street. It was game over. Wales victory. So Ronan Kelleher, off goes Henderson, just does enough. It was almost stolen by Wales. Here's Burns.
Tackle, off you come.
Thrilling climax. It shouldn't really have been. Wales should have put this one away. Good carry by Kelleher. Tadhg, what a match he has had. Still running hard in the 82nd minute and offloading too. Billy Burns for Ringrose. That's the halfway line. Tackle by Tipperick. Gibson Park.
Tackle!
Henderson sets. Billy Burns. Henshaw. Jordan Larmour. CJ Stander. Another player in this Ireland pack who's got through a mountain of work. Can't get over the ball, Wales. Suspicion of a knock forward in there. But play on, says Barnes. Gibson Park. Gareth Davis comes shooting out of the line. Might have left a little gap.
No!
Good tackle by Sheedy. Here's Billy Burns, and now James Lowe into the play. Ireland retaining possession very professionally here. And now it's Gary Ringrose. Here's a chance for Ringrose. Tipperick. What a tackle back by Tipperick. Brilliant from the open side. World class. But there's space on the outside here. It's a poor pass, and Henshaw's back in his own half again. Jordan Larmour stepping and dancing away. Look at the footwork from Larmour. What a finish this is to this game. Minute number 84, we still don't know who the winner is of this Guinness Six Nations
Don't go in.
Celtic clash. Connors to Burns. Henshaw bursting through. He's done that all match long. Sheedy can't bring him down, and it's another penalty.
That caused a dislodge.
This time they can stick it, jam it right into the corner.
What nervous times. Both teams. You know, just when you think it's Wales's game, you can see George North's hand there. Can't touch a ball on the ground. You know, in those situations, you let Ireland have the ball, you fan out, you keep your defence.
And then you kick it dead. Oh, Billy Burns, what have you done? The chance to put it close to the corner flag. Well, he did, but it was on the wrong side of it. And Wayne Pivac's Wales have secured a victory. But how tense, how nerve-wracking a climax was that. Billy Burns is absolutely gutted. Ireland fought so hard with 14 men, but a cracking second half. Come back from Wales, those two tries. Poor old Billy Burns, you've got a feel for him putting that ball dead. You can see the misery etched on his face, but it's Wales who have beaten Andy Farrell's Ireland.